And good evening and welcome to Coffee with the USS Russell Camp Klingon edition. We'll be talking about all things Klingon, including some awards that we're planning on making, and we're going to show some examples that our area commander, Jorn, actually created. And this one's been creating some stuff like the bottles and all that stuff for stuff that Jorn's going to be casting for us to use, like shot glasses, I believe, is one of the things.
Actually, he did the shot glass.
Oh, he did the shot glass. Okay. I don't know all the details. However, tonight we're with Jefferson, Professor Trek, who is an amazing engineer, and my friend that I met online doing TikToks, the Demon.
Hi, I'm a random guy.
Well, we are going to be starting a new podcast, and we're going to introduce a couple of things real quick. I'm switching that. Our overlay for the show is the CAG podcast. We might need to outline the letters so they show up a little bit better. But just showing this, and the intro for that show is right here.
Koi keles pook lod, koi pook back poo, yakbo matbo jesui, se machume oo, mashu manong, a macho chu, nibeyin much of wong ku, but my children's eljo please ma fam, who my demon correct, but you talk to my medical, but you talk ma oh.
Okay, so that will repeat because I set it up as background music. So unlike our show intro, that one is actually in the intro music for the CAG podcast already. So we will be adding stuff to it, but this was just the basic intro for the CAG podcast. And what we will be doing is once a month doing a podcast talking about CAG and stuff like that. So
what's going
as part of our main show, we wanted,
what's going on, what's being done, and the history of CAG.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything? Okay, so history of CAG, what interactions, stuff like that. And what we're going to try and do is not just our group from Central Florida, because most of us are in Central Florida. I think Demon is in like the Midwest, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm in Indiana.
Okay. Indiana.
Whereabouts?
So I was born in Kokomo, Indiana, and which is like 50 miles north of Indianapolis. And then I started working for GM, and I got tired of driving a really long way away.
Right.
And so I moved up to Fort Wayne.
Oh, cool.
I used to go to Evansville all the time.
I haven't been that far. I mean, I've gone past it, but I've never actually stopped.
So
there's actually a Star Trek convention in Indianapolis every year on Thanksgiving weekend.
So you guys are probably gonna beat the crap out of me. I'm not a Trekkie.
No one's going to beat the crap out of anybody.
I love Star Wars, but I could never get into Star Trek. My grandpa was a big Star Trek fan, but I'm just like, man, I just don't. I
Watch
can't get into
Discovery.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, watch Discovery.
Discovery is more Star Wars. However, I just got to say, Star Wars, we are your father.
Yeah,
George Lucas actually admitted that without Star Trek, Star Wars would have never been made.
yeah.
By the way, I was there when he did it.
I figured that as much
Brian.
because of the way like everything like a lot of the first Star Wars that I seen was like Phantom Menace, so I was in that group. But I did watch a lot of the what is it?
He
Well,
was-
A New Hope with my grandpa. My grandpa was blind, so like he listened to it more than watched it. But yeah, like he would tell me stories that were going on in Star Trek and everything, and I'm like, oh, so that's like, you know, this in Star Wars, and then, you know, he threatened to backhand me. But you know, I
Well, I
think
remember
a lot of the politicking in like the first episodes were supposed to be like that, and it further on, it was uh, you know, more of, I guess you could say, the action stuff, even though they were kind of stiff in their lightsaber fighting.
right.
Well,
Well, I can
Bloomington
tell
has
you
a
complete statement of George Lucas. What he had said at the con, where he said if it wasn't for Star Trek, there'd be no Star Wars. He said Gene Roddenberry looked at a place where mankind had finally come to grips with his own bestiality. He said, I, on the other hand, just picked up a newspaper and got the idea that will never happen because we're too greedy. So kudos to both gentlemen. They did incredible work.
And I know Jefferson just was about to say something.
Oh, I was just. I spent some time in Bloomington a few months ago, and got a chance to visit the Janeway statue. It's actually less than a block from the hotel I was staying in there. So, Indiana has deep Trek roots.
So, me personally, Star Trek is not my favorite show. Stargate is. As a matter of fact, before the show, we were watching SG-1. So, my main thing is I don't care what sci-fi you like, as long as you like sci-fi, because sci-fi has a thing about inclusion and showing the diversity between people, even if it's the negative part of it on one side and the positive on the other.
Science fiction gives us two things: the opportunity to see what's possible and the opportunity to see where we're at today. I don't care if it's Star Wars, Star Trek. I don't care if it's let's dig back in the old way back TV shows, R2, Time Tunnel. All of these gave us an opportunity to look at ourselves and say, what can we do to make things better? And at the end of the day, that's what we all should be looking for. How can we make things better?
So we have about 20 pictures over here.
Yeah, let me step up my soapbox.
That one of the things that we're going to talk about is creation of awards and recognizing people. One of our mandates of the show is to talk about community service. And our main shows that we do around here specifically work on helping fund community. Okay, that might get strong. Community service related stuff like Prehistoric Con, which we went to, and if you see on my TikTok, you saw the dinosaurs and all that. We raised $1,000 for that city and brought focus on that community. So that's one of the things that we do. So CAG, we do a lot of stuff, and one of the things that was brought up was we don't award things that are happening as much. So Jorn wanted to discuss possibly making some awards and actually assigning stuff and start giving them out to people more. That way people will actually feel recognized. I know Jefferson just got promoted to ensign, and his first week as a SFI person, he actually worked Syfy Bartow 2023. Sorry, I'm going, wait, which year was that? Because you've been to 2.
Yeah.
Florida too.
And yeah, he did the with the Haven the week before. Yeah. Forgot about that because I wasn't there. But Jefferson came out and he worked all day long. And this year he worked all day long and helped us both times. He helped us tear down and set up and all this stuff. So when I did the awards for everybody last year, this year I've been sick and I didn't have the energy to even try. But I made sure that everybody that participated had an award, because I know for a fact that we go to these events and work for 8 hours and nobody even says thank you most of the time. Now, that's not saying the kids or the people that come to see the thing don't thank us. That's different. I'm talking about leadership has a problem with remembering to recognize the people under them. So part of this is teaching people. So we're going to show our remember when you would do the creative writing and you do the bubbles and you do all the ideas in school? We're going to show that part real quick to let people get in on how the pastries are made, basically. I forgot to switch to this. So let me flip over to show our pictures that have been shared with us. Share screen.
Before we get into that, I should mention too that part of the problem with CAG is all we've got is promotions, rank. There aren't very many ranks that you can go to. So we need to do something to honor people. Are you okay? We need to do something to honor people rather than just promotions. That's why we need to kind of give out awards.
So now I'll share it.
I'm sorry?
Now I'm sharing the
Awards.
awards
Concepts, anyway.
or concepts. And I need to go here. Oops, wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan does he goes over to the 3D printing shop, prints something, and then he casts it into resin and makes
Actually, those particular items have been laser cut.
Oh, those are laser cut ones? Okay.
Those are
He
laser
also
cut
does
ones.
laser, and he gives out
Not much of anything he doesn't do.
all different types of stuff. We don't have, my cup is at home with it on it. The leather cup holder for the belt. And I don't see yours. He makes leather. Hello, vampire. Welcome from England.
Thank you.
He makes leather cup holders as well that are laser etched, and Drew's trying to find one. But okay. When we get done, I will actually get a close up of this with the camera. These are different awards concepts. The tooth one is pretty awesome.
It's actually a targ's tooth, which is designed to be given for recognition of your first kill. So I thought, when you design your uniform, when you build your uniform the first time, we give people their targ's tooth.
Oh, that's awesome idea. Hold on. Let's finish these and then we can share those because I can't open that camera. And here's some of the resin versions.
Actually, those are acrylic versions.
Those
Laser
are acrylic. Okay. And then notice it says mold for the resin.
And what came out of the molds, yeah. Proposal for kill stripes, strategy marks, and battle notches.
So these would be, when he's talking about kill strikes, is recruiting, community service activities, gaming, showing up at like
A kill
when we
stripe.
did the con.
A kill stripe
Is
is
supporting the CAG that would give you the CAG. So,
in CAG. A battle notch is for any time you attend an event in uniform. A kill stripe is any time you are participating in a competition and you win the competition, either as a group or as an individual. And the strategy mark is for when you design, when you create a particular event that people can go to and participate in.
Wait, does that mean we get a kill shot because our 80-foot booth got a award this year?
No. You got a strategy mark. You got a battle notch because you showed up.
Well, our booth got an award.
The Klingon booth and the Federation booth both got.
But you have to do a challenge. You have to do a
because
challenge,
it wasn't a challenge.
and be accepted, and then win the competition.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is I've got to enter the beauty pageant next year.
Yeah.
Yes, but you know,
You'll probably win.
The Penguin got it 2 years ago, so was that the last one? No.
oh no. Those are qualification medals.
Ah.
Those are battle notches and the different colors and configurations of battle notches for the multiples that people can get.
Okay.
And there is a shit pot full of medals there.
Yeah.
Pity you ain't got no medals, John.
Where do those go? On the sash or?
Either the sash or the command cloak. You'll see that the Chancellor before Galron was wearing a command cloak that had all kinds of medals on them.
Wait. I'm trying to look up a picture real quick. Okay.
Kempek, that's the guy's name.
I found the right one.
You can see some of the medals on his cloak in that picture, but not very many. There's a whole lot more.
This is weird. See if it pops back up. Nope. Okay. I don't like it. It's teacupping. I'm going to stop that. Maybe that one's better. You can see them there, but they go all the way down.
Close that one.
Oh, there you go. Right. See if this one pops up. There. So you see how he's got it all on that M looking sash.
Yeah.
He's got 40 or 50 different awards there.
He's been a busy man.
So. By the way, this is new because before I had to switch, I actually had to open up the tab to share it. So they changed something in the.
Yep. See you.
So this one is just more of the notches or symbols.
Kill stripes for a competition with Klingons, Romulans, or the Federation. And those
Gotcha.
are
Okay, so that's why there's
yeah.
Klingons, Romulans, and the Federation. And then we have the Order of the Bat Lift.
Qualification medal.
Okay. Welcome back, Demon.
I haven't done one of those.
That's what I want to build next, Jefferson. A different command chip.
Oh, that was,
My bad. I hit a wrong button.
no problem.
Or that one.
Or that one.
I like
Wow.
that one better.
So I'm going to stop sharing this.
I don't want
and then we
to.
went
I don't want to
that.
carry that one. Unless it inflates, I don't want
As
to.
long
carry
as it's not as heavy as Mark's, I'm good. Because not
Well,
again.
if you build them right, you can build them with a set of rollers underneath them that squish down when you sit on it, but lift up when you need to push it.
These come either with the bird of prey on it or a bat lift normally,
Or your name.
or your name. And it's made so that you can put your Klingon cup and attach it to your belt. And I used it to do the oversized Klingon cup, the one that was bigger than this one that I had. And then basically cold beverages can be used in this cup. This is 3D printed. And I believe this is one of the things that eventually we need to get over to Jordan. And then
Where
this
do you
one.
think they came from?
Oh, these came from Jordan.
They came from me, guys.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he printed them or you printed them.
I printed them.
And little shot glass.
Now, did you design those, or were they already? Someone
Thingiverse.
had already-
These are from Thingiverse.
Oh, okay.
Blood what?
So as long as it's cold, these are PLA, right?
Yep.
You can use PLA and they'll hold water and they are not toxic because PLA is made out of plants. So that's it.
If you look it up, PLA is a potable commodity.
Yeah. So, like I said, Jordan has been making different stuff for keg for a while. Drew and Mike, you've seen the rifles. They made those. The command plaques he makes. Hold on. I dropped that camera. Hold on. I gotta put it back.
No,
Now you can put it back over here now.
this is a joint project between Jordan, Mike, and myself.
And we got to join them. This is why he says a joint project.
That's a TOS disruptor, correct?
Yep.
TOS?
Correct.
Yeah.
Demon, this is a lot of these designs are canon in the Star Trek universe. So they're recognizable to someone who's seen the episodes.
Mhm.
Right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have no idea what you're showing me.
Yeah. Yeah, so the one they were just holding up was from the original series back in the 60s. This one's from the 90s Next Generation.
And then the phaser rifle, which I think Demon has seen on my wall.
Yeah,
once.
I've seen that.
But so you see in Star Wars, everybody's got a rifle, it seems. All the clone troopers have rifles, all the Mandalorians have rifles.
They're soldiers.
However, you never see Star Trek rifles. So I think we were the first that I've ever seen, and then all of a sudden other people started putting them together. The XRC for us, I believe, he's got one. And John, the vampire, has a Nerf version of it.
Yeah, I'm right.
It's actually pretty. He's got it underneath of his desk right there.
Yeah.
So he's got the same rifle as us, only that one was a bot version.
Yeah.
So
And that one shoots Nerf rounds.
yeah, and it definitely shoots Nerf rounds.
Yeah.
So
Well, you get two with it. You get the duster as well.
yeah, and that one lights up.
Yeah. I'll show you. On switch.
So, like when I was in high school, I made what was it? I took principles of engineering and there's something else. There was a different name for it. I can't think of the name of it. But like I actually made a Nerf blaster and I turned it into a Stormtrooper blaster rifle. And the sad story about that is it exploded. One of my buddies tried to load more than one Nerf in it, and we decided, well, we're gonna try and get them down the barrel. And as we cranked the spring, we kept putting more and more springs on it, trying to get it to go further. Well, the whole like plunger just like ended up shooting through the barrel along with the Nerf darts, and then the breech of it basically just exploded in my buddy's hands. So that's no longer existing.
In high school, I did the no of arming a model rocket.
She didn't fill a ball.
I don't know if it had actually made it over to the football team. We might have had a better football team.
I had permission, and they told me I could roll it down the hallway, but they found out till the teacher realized what the two chemicals in it became. Then the bomb squad set it off.
So my science club teacher went, "Oh, you want to blow it up?" Because it kind of it did like the shuttles and decided to fly into the ground. So I repaired it and filled it with gunpowder and blew it up on school property. Can't do that anymore. They kind of frowned on it. But like I said, when you're learning all this stuff and you have free access, you don't always follow the rules for some reason. And teachers kind of enable it too. He did ask me how much I put in. I went, I filled it? Because it flew up and landed and blew up on the ground. So with the CAG awards, are we going to take those existing ones you already made, Jordan, and make it easier to give them away, or how? What is the plan that you want to do with it?
We want to give them out.
So we want to actually give them out. So publish, here's how you can receive these and actually have them on hand.
For instance, I've got molds for things like this, and we can just cast them in resin and give them to people.
Miss Tori's got one of those.
So that's the whole idea. Let's give people a reason to participate.
Okay. So our next show is that I know that we're planning on doing is BartoCon, which is in August. I hope the professor's going to be there.
Wait. Say that again. What's the name of that event?
August 3rd, BartoCon.
Okay.
That isn't. It isn't a free entry. It's the indoor con.
Yes, and no CAG group, no cosplay group is going to be allowed tables.
They had the big Stargate last year, right?
The said no.
The city doesn't want a con.
No, they're going to have the sales and the artists. So Sean would like us to come in cosplay to do as we always do, direct people to have to find their way. We all know what that city's doing to him. I'm working on it.
And I would like to get enough recommendations from people within the next couple of months to be able to do an awards presentation at BartoCon.
Okay.
So would I.
So we have you, him, and Josiah. Which Josiah is at everything. So you need to get Carrie, right?
Yep.
We definitely need to award Carrie because she's been Are we going to include people that are friends of us that might be in other Klingon groups?
Friends of CAG? Why not?
I don't see any problem with including people who are in other Klingon groups in an award ceremony as long as they're comfortable with that.
Okay.
I know there are some groups out there that do have a problem with doing stuff with CAG, but as long as they're happy, as long as they're willing to participate, go ahead and give them.
Right. We
They're not
I'm
CAG
talking
awards.
from the movie.
I think between the two, Casey?
No, from the one at the gym theater. The con. what's her name from Claw,
Mm-hmm.
because she's always coming by and doing stuff.
She just wants to be a Klingon. She does.
Yeah. But or vendors at the show that have come in Klingon.
I think we should come up with, and this is just my opinion, you can tell me yay or nay on, coming up with one for members of Starfleet that have helped us out. So that even other Klingons know when you're working with another group, it's okay to tell them, thank you so much for doing this work. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is back in Des Moines, Iowa, when we were doing a jail and bail, we actually had a group of Manticorians helping with the jail and bail. Now, Manticorians are not Star Trek or Star Wars or anything. They're from the David Weber series of books.
Right. I've read them, so I know what you're talking about.
If we can encourage other people to help, that's more people that are helping.
Kind of like the Men in Black.
Yeah.
That we had at Syfy Bartow.
From Sector 1701.
So basically, award those that are actually helping out and show that we're giving out awards. So in the next couple months, we'll have to do a couple planning sessions. We'll definitely be doing at least one podcast before then, hopefully, of the CAG podcast, so that we can talk strategy and give details as an instructional.
We also need to do a few meetings and plan.
Yeah.
What is going in the book? What isn't?
Okay.
Once we get the first one done, we can always upgrade.
So what do you think, Demon, since you're an outsider? How about you give an opinion? Because outsider looking in can help a little bit better sometimes than people that are used to it.
Well, this coming from my racing and car guy background a lot too. It sounded like a lot of trying to get a bunch of Chevy guys, Ford guys, and Chrysler guys all in a room together. Doesn't end well, but no, like I've never understood the whole idea of like people being like, oh well, I don't want to help you because you only want to do like Klingon stuff. I've never understood like, oh, you like Star Trek? Well, I don't want to help you because I only like Star Wars. I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. I don't know if my opinion on that, on saying that, is all important, because I feel like we all have that same ideal. It is like it doesn't matter what you're doing. I want you to succeed. Just, get in there and do it until we all have fun,
One of them is this one.
As a car guy, you probably would really enjoy the Bartow event that they have that's outside, because it's basically a car show with science fiction sprinkled on top.
Well, me personally, I want to see this in existence.
Last year at Syfy Bartow, we actually had a 9-foot bumblebee.
Yeah.
Bumblebee's better as a Camaro.
But for those of us old guys that suddenly Bumblebee was in and nobody understood where he came from, when I saw the movie Bumblebee, that filled in so many gaps. When she said, "You could have been a Camaro," I was just like, that's when the change took place.
Here. I figured we'd share since you haven't seen. Like I said,
You ain't seen nothing yet.
this is from the car show side.
See, when I was going to college, I went to college at UNOH.
Well, this is from the car show site. Dang it. Oh,
And,
this is from the trunk or treat.
there was a CVS I had to drive back from every weekend from my parents' house to college, and somebody at a CVS, they've had to have worked at the CVS. They had a Jeep Wrangler, just like one of the Jurassic Park Jeeps.
They didn't put the new pictures on the car show site.
And then come to find out, that person was also working at the CVS, went to the same UNOH school that I went to.
Oh, cool.
So
He caught that thing on fire. So anything around me always ends in tragedy, or it's burned up or exploded.
is that why you chose Demon as your name?
No, that was a nickname given to me by my grandma. And I just stuck it on all my race cars, so it stuck, and everybody's like, yeah, your attitude
My
and
godmother-
the way you react to things, that name's fitting.
My
But you-
godmother used to look at me and go, "It's just a wee bit of the devil in you."
You know what you were saying about the different genres really resonates too, because we're, as Starfleet, which is what I'm typically a member of. I mean, I enjoy being invited to the CAG events, and we've done a couple of CAG events with in tandem with our Starfleet group. I'm with the USS Haven out of Orlando, but we're always, I mean, in Bartow, we're right across the alleyway from all the Star Wars people, and I think we have a peaceful coexistence, and we actually have a good time with them, you know.
So we run over and get to them. They come over and get to us.
Yeah.
Just this last one in February, I walking across down the street. Someone had told me, "Okay, you need to go up to the stage." So I was walking towards the stage, and right through the middle of 501, and I hear a very muffled of my name, and another person we know that's a member just yelled, the 501st yells, "Hey, Drew, come here." Vader wanted a picture next to me. So we got the pictures, and I turned around as I walked away, and I go, "Yeah, I think we can make you an ensign in Starfleet." And I turned around and I walked away. And he just started laughing. My first year there with, when I was aboard the USS Haven, chief engineer. We worked across the street from the 501st, and one of their troopers just kept shooting in our direction. He just kept, and finally I hear, "Oh!" And I turn around and look behind. There's another stormtrooper, grabs his chest and falls to the ground. And I turn around and I look at him and I hold up my phaser. And he goes, "Nope, nope, nope." We don't miss.
The first year we brought the phaser rifle to Syfy Bartow, there was a Mandalorian group coming down the area, and the one guy started turning towards me, and I'm standing guard outside of the booth, and I just look at him and go, "I have shields," and he snaps his fingers and goes, "Damn," and walked away. The one thing about this is we always get along and we always mess with each other.
Science fiction, geeks are geeks. Come on, we're all cut from the same cloth. There's something somewhere in all of it that we like.
See, and that's
I think
a lot
it
of
all goes back to Forbidden Planet, the 1950s movie. That's where we all draw from.
I would kill for one of those uniforms, those Forbidden Planet uniforms. Those are the coolest looking things.
Yeah.
They're not that tough to make.
Well, you know, if you can't sew.
The tough part is
You just have to
All
know
those
certain people.
agendas on the
You
hat.
have a lot of money if you're trying to get my wife to do it. You of all people know that.
I did work for that vest. But these pictures are all from Syfy Bartow, and like I said, the demon has never seen what it's like. This is primarily on the car show side, but you saw some of the stuff elsewhere. We have in Central Florida
And that's
actually.
the old place. That's before they started using all the Broadway.
Oh yeah, we actually have a Jurassic Park fan club that's got 5 cars in Central Florida. We have a Ghostbusters fan club that's got 5 cars.
3 years ago, we had the largest car show in all of Florida. Or something.
Now we're getting into some of the cosplayers and stuff like that. But these are things that, okay, it's just going repeating. Okay, I'm done with
Repeat.
But that might have actually been Kimberly.
Luna.
No, I got other pictures.
That makes 2 of us.
But like I said, the cool thing about this show is it wasn't only Star Trek. It wasn't only Star Wars. It wasn't only Doctor Who. It wasn't just Ghostbusters. It was every show put together outdoors, and that particular show is a free show that is put on each year, and it's 15 city blocks now. So
Even Walking Dead.
oh yeah,
I got to talk to him for a couple hours.
there's a couple local celebrities, like he's on The Walking Dead, and he's normally there every year. This year at BartowCon, we're going to have Vic. There's our booth. Tell Vic we're putting the MFP behind them. So Vic is a character actor that also built the Neutral Zone Studios. And we convinced him to come to BartowCon this year.
You have seen Star Trek Continues. You have seen Neutral Zone Studios. He was the original owner. He built 90% of that. It was just part of the bridge, and then he completed the bridge, and then he completed.
Demon, do you watch anime?
My little brother's way more into it, but like I grew up watching like Gundam and Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and of course I watched the original like Transformers. I don't know if you would classify that as anime, but you know, it's still kind of in that vein to me, especially like the animation style of the early anime. What else did I watch?
Ever watch Full Metal Alchemist?
Yes, Full Metal Alchemist. I love that series.
Speed Racer?
I actually watched Speed Racer with my dad. Yeah, my dad was pretty big on Speed Racer. I mean, a lot of things come from my dad. Like, my grandpa was in the Air Force during the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was a mechanic. My grandma's aunts and uncles did demolition derbies out in Montana and stuff like that. My dad raced stock cars. He was always a mechanic and started working for GM. I went to school for automotive high performance, and so yeah, it's I mean, anything mechanical that I seen on like TV or stuff like that, like Knight Rider, Transformers. even Supernatural with their that Impala. I love that Impala.
Yeah.
But
You watched Dragon Ball?
I watched a bit of it, but like as I got older, it kind of like fell off. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the other one.
That guy in the center
That's it.
is Vic, and he played the voice of Broly in Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Yeah,
we have
expanded the
connections
picture,
with.
then I was able to see it better.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't realize how famous he was. I didn't care. We were working doing demo at the time and made friends with him and just talked to him. I didn't know how famous he was until one of the people's ex-girlfriends went with y'all and kind of swooned over the guy. I'm like, wow, he's that famous?
Oh, and by the way, she still has not lived that down.
But so,
He also
like I said,
played one of the main characters in Full Metal Alchemist.
right, Cursed. I was looking at that one too.
He was cursed.
But he's got, I was just looking at the list. He's got episodes from different shows. He was in Pokemon as the TV
That's like
series
Mark
is
Hamill. I
Siler,
didn't
Scooter,
realize-
and Seiya. So
I didn't realize how
Keizo.
much Mark Hamill had defined my childhood. Because like he was the Joker, and I watched Batman like religiously, and he was and
Here's
like
Batman,
I
too.
tried to recreate his voice like that.
You know,
You know,
Mark Hamill played the Trickster in the 1990s Flash, and then reprised the role for the current version of Flash.
Can I tease your love of Star Wars just a little bit? The original Star Wars film. Ben Kenobi hands him the most lethal weapon in the galaxy, and he looks straight down the barrel with his finger on the trigger.
yeah, I thought that was stupid when I first seen that. Like I was real little, right? And the first things that my dad had taught me with like anything that could projectile anything at super high speeds, you never look at it or you never look down it. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, well let me just look at it," and I'm like, "No, that's stupid. Don't do that."
Oh, just so you know,
You got it the proper color.
you're also a Star Wars household.
So, yeah, we get along with our Star Wars friends.
That's not real. That's CGI.
What's CGI?
That
No, that's real.
I gotta find.
Yeah,
I gotta find where we put the. Hold on. I will find the other one because we actually have him, Vader, on our transporter.
we also have Vader in a Klingon room chair.
Yep, that's what I gotta find. I gotta remember which Facebook page we popped that up on. I think it was. Because when we brought the Klingon chair and the transporter that year, Jorn wasn't there. But this man came over and sat down on the Klingon chair.
Read.
And the funniest thing was the look on Carrie's face as he sat down beside her. Was like, why are you sitting in my chair?
He looked at her like, I really didn't know.
It was too windy for the transporter last year, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Too rainy.
Yeah.
We didn't want to bring the transporter because it was so rainy that we were worried that it would actually get ruined.
Right.
So we didn't bring it last year. Hopefully this year we can bring everything.
I gotta ask, do you guys watch Adam Savage? Like
Huh?
his tested. Do you watch Adam Savage, his tested YouTube channel?
No.
So Adam Savage from the Mythbusters and stuff like that. He has a YouTube channel. Yeah. He has a YouTube channel called Tested, and like he does these videos that he calls I'm stumbling over my words. He calls them 1-day builds, and he makes all kinds of props. Like he's made costumes like Chewbacca's costumes. He's made is it Captain Kirk's chair? Like I love watching videos like that of people making stuff, especially Adam, because you know he used to work for Industrial Light and Magic, and so he takes a lot of his prop making skills and he applies them to making all of these props that he's always wanted and always collected. Like he's got Blade Runner's gun, and he made what is it, a gun case for it. And then there's another guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he's also got a channel. I think he's on TikTok, Sean. Props to History.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, I think you guys would.
That's Vader on the transporter.
Oh yeah.
There he is in a Klingon command chair.
I'm sure it's way more comfy than his life support pod.
Now, one thing that I've discovered is not making things from scratch and making them to be screen accurate, but taking things that already exist and repurposing them to theme them into like an activity that we can do at our Star Trek table. We were talking about the Bowling for Borg game where I made a bunch of bowling pins that look like Borg drones, and kids could come along and swing a ball around on a chain and it knocks them over. It's kind of a little carnival game.
Did you get that idea from the game they used to have?
Skittle.
Where the little ball and the little bowling pins?
Yes, when I was a kid, I used to play Skittle for hours on end, and it's like, oh, well, I could do this. You know, I was looking at one of these plastic pins cans, saying, I bet I could turn that into a Borg. And you know, it's funny. My original concept for the Borg was going to be much more menacing than the way it came out. When I put the googly eyes on them, it was like, oh, okay, well, this is what we're going to have to go with. It was just too cute. It became too fun.
See that brought little kids closer to it.
Yeah, and
it brought the little kids closer to it so that they can knock it over.
No,
right.
In Lakeland there were some little ones that went up and were trying to do it, and they hit the pole about a dozen times. One kid finally got mad, threw the thing, and it hit the pole. When it hit the pole, it knocked all the pins out.
Yeah.
No, what was funny was the first few kids that came at Syfy Bartow knocked the whole thing over.
Right. I added
So
a
we
box
had to-
of rocks
had
to
to
the
wait.
bottom.
So
That's when you put magnets down.
this year, you brought a bunch of other stuff that I didn't get to look at.
The Mugatu.
It was you and Citation.
That's going to go to BD.
Yeah, Citation Ops. Jane and Sharon, I believe, from
Right.
Citation Ops. So
We're
they've got
followers.
a Facebook group too.
Yep, we're part of it.
Yeah.
He's
And but yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff like that cooking in the works. I've got a gun that's basically an air cannon, and it's shaped like a big bamboo pole that you aim at a Gorn target, and you pull back, and it blasts air out of the front of it, knocks over the Gorn.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so very, very
We're allowed to shoot
the original series-ish. I recently came up with an idea of these little 1.1 inch glass or plastic capsules, like the kind you would see at a gumball machine.
Yeah.
And I put a little earth tone pom-pom inside of it, and it's a nano tribble, and each one of these is like 14 cents total. So you give them away. You can say, okay, well, here's a little tribble in a little case that you can keep and feed. Yeah.
I'm just thinking next year for Syfy Bartow as villains, we take your gun and set up a thing with Sean to start off the thing where alternate universe us comes and tries to take him out.
Kills him.
Because it does the blast of air, you can act like you winged them.
And speaking of, we had Sean, you and I had that conversation about how I don't generally do Klingon stuff.
Yeah,
but I've been working on something. I don't know if you can see that.
There you go.
Yep. So I'm going to be ready for the next CAG event that I get invited to.
Well, you have an open invite to anything that the Curse is doing.
I appreciate that.
As well as anything the camp is doing. I mean, you guys, the Haven has always given us an open one. And that's the one thing that I don't understand. There's a lot of groups out here that won't work together. John and I know firsthand that's wrong. You need to work together. If you're going to do something, do it together.
Yeah.
I don't know. John, Vampire shared it.
Yeah, it's mine. A friend of mine.
Oh, this is at one of the cons?
Yeah.
Which con is that?
Not too sure which one it was. It's probably when she was at the London one. When
London?
Yeah, when Terry was over here.
I only know of 4 in London, so can you streamline that?
London Film Comic Con.
I can't.
No, he's the one that can change the picture. Yes.
Yeah, she got married to her husband.
There's the little arrows. This one over here is trying to click them.
But
it's okay. We'll put him to bed. So.
And I know that one of the things each year there's a mystery party that Drew and his wife puts on for their daughter. This year it's going to be pirate themed. So anybody in the area that wants to join, that'll be October 12th.
Yeah, hit me up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Did you say pirate themed?
Oh no.
Pirate themed, yeah.
Pirates.
Wow.
I said I just have to bring a barrel of dirt.
A jar of dirt.
Jar of dirt.
I've got a
When I
jar of
dirt. When I said jar of dirt, his wife looked at me and went, "Why?" I went, "Pirates of the Caribbean."
Then I had to find the video clip that had him going, "I've got the dirt."
So,
but you look at him and it's like, that's no Johnny Depp. I'm sorry.
Our space pirates invited, though.
What was it last
You
year?
what, David?
Space pirates. Are they invited? Or are they only Caribbean?
Caribbean.
I don't know.
We have been ordered to keep it on the ground.
I was just thinking, I'm in my Klingon costume and take over.
How often were pirates on the ground?
Weren't
they on boats?
He just said, how many times were pirates actually on the ground?
Weren't they on
At
boats?
least on the deck then. I'm a
They were
Marine.
squatting the poop deck.
I'm a Marine. Sometimes I was in the air, but they called us pirates because we used to kill people.
You do realize I'm going to make her walk the plank before the end of the night. If she does what she did last year and the year before.
You do realize that I have already started making.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, that's
You
that's
must. I presume that you saw my daughter come and get a hug tonight. She's 30 years old. This will be her 31st birthday. And she has Down syndrome. And is only 4'3". She works.
cure for seasickness is to sit under a tree. That's the old joke for the cure for seasickness. You go sit under a tree for a while.
Yeah, I used to. I hated sea duty, and it wasn't because I got sick. It didn't put me to sleep.
Yeah, I used to work on a cruise ship, and
I think that would work.
once you get sick once on a cruise ship, it goes away and never comes back. So, well, at least not in my experience. It hasn't come back yet. But then again, I haven't been on a cruise ship in a number of years. So,
My dad, great guy, smart guy, sometimes does these things that make you question him. For my 9th birthday, he bought me a boat. Okay. What he excluded to say was he got it for free. And when he finally went and got this boat, I seen why it was free. There had been a family of raccoons living in it. It looked like the boat had been upside down in the water for at least, I don't know, 6 months. And the guy's like, yeah, I just don't have the time for it anymore. And he's like,
It's almost all the Florida boats.
Pretty much.
he's like, well, my son likes to go fishing. I'll get him a boat for his 9th birthday. So I think it was more of a thing he wanted, but he masked it as, I'm going to get this for my son.
Right.
Did it actually float?
No. It never touched the water.
I wish I had the boats in Oregon.
I saw a video of a boat coming into the launch, and you can tell that the boat was sinking. And because it was barely under the water line at one point. And all of a sudden you see him just pull up onto the ramp. And I'm like, actually, that's kind of smart. You never think, how do you save the boat from going under? Gun it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
He made it.
Yeah, but he also had two big tugs back there.
No, there was no tug.
There's a
This
saying.
was a 30-foot.
There's a saying in racing. All right, if you fly in there into the corner and do something stupid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then someone comes flying up, you screaming in your face. But did you die? Because both of you made it. Both of you made it through the corner. Neither one of you crashed. But did you die?
You know, Dale Earnhardt's looking down from wherever he is going.
Oh, don't give me that. There's the greatest lie that every race car driver ever tells
Have you ever
themselves.
heard of
That's
Riverside
something that
International
happens to someone
Raceway?
else.
What did you say?
Have you ever heard of Riverside International Raceway?
Yes, I have.
When it
I've also
existed in the 1970s. Jeez, your age is coming. I used to go there with my car because on weekends for $20, you can use their equipment, be covered by their insurance. And you could hit the track and see just how fast you could go. Professional drivers were always around. I got to meet a ton of them. I had two of their pit bosses going, you want to sell that engine? Okay, well, that engine is useless without that transmission. The two of them go together.
Right.
I had a
No,
1972 Dodge Coronet 440 with a custom Micro 500 block and a fully customized transmission in a Turbo 400 automatic racing gun.
so you're telling me you put a Chrysler and hooked it up to a GM? Sacrilege. You're not supposed to do that.
See, all of this though was custom. We only needed the casing.
Yeah.
Everything else was custom built. The engine was actually forged by the man who put it together.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Riverside because, well, I mean, I know a lot of the NASCAR history and stuff like that, and I do a lot of sim racing too, so I've found mods for Riverside, and I'm also familiar with Ontario Speedway. They called it the Brickyard of the West, and yeah.
Yeah,
I'm very saddened by the story behind of what happened to Ontario.
I think there's something seriously wrong with the people that demanded the tearing down of Riverside. I mean,
I agree.
the fact that for $20, high school kids could get out there and see what their cars could do. Under supervision, yes, there was a 4-hour class, mandatory the first time, 4-hour class you had to take. But boy, it sure did help later because boy, you know how to drive defensively. And in Florida, you need it. Of course, in Kentucky, I needed it. Indiana, I needed it. I don't think I've not used some of the skills I was taught in that class.
I
So,
mean,
Jordan, do you have a day that you want simply a CAG podcast?
Do I have a day? What?
A day during the week or during the month that you would like to have a strictly CAG podcast?
I don't know. What works for you?
Monday through Friday.
Okay, I can live with that.
Special Olympics. Oh, and Region 2 staff.
I don't know. Any Tuesday, what does Tuesday evenings work? How does that work?
Tuesday evenings?
Yeah.
Well, the only problem with that day is his days. The only days he can do it is Friday. Saturday, he's got a whole day always booked. So Friday nights is all he can do.
Okay, well, we do it on Friday sometime.
Okay. You want to do it in between the shows for Starfleet?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't be in the one next week because I'm going to be in Georgia. I'm going to be there with them. I'm not that bored.
Okay, well, we'll work on it. We will work on a date, Drew.
Yeah. I want to make sure that we can take some time to at least put something together. Need to let. It might have to be earlier to get Josiah in because he works early and Saturday morning.
Yeah, that'd be a bummer.
Yeah, because every time that we've asked him, he's like, I got to head to bed. I got to get up really early tomorrow to go to work.
Oh, maybe we make it during the day sometime.
It works for me. I'm sure Sean will be able to do something. So we'll be able to do it. I can't believe it. We've done this for an hour.
We've been what?
It's been going for an hour and 14 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a lot longer than usual. Demon, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
appreciate it, sir.
Anytime. I mean, except for during the week, I work third shift, so I'm usually dead.
We should
Or
get
at work.
together and talk politics sometime.
Do what?
We should get together and talk politics sometime.
I can usually hold my own on a lot of different subjects.
Basically,
I
like
have-
political science concepts.
I have ADHD, so I have many hobbies.
Ah,
Yeah. So rabbit holes are very dangerous for me.
He likes to mess with the smooth brains and comments for
Oh, yeah.
hours at a time.
you know, that is the fun in life.
Yeah.
When you got
I-
somebody who thinks he's on greased glass and he knows exactly where he's going, and all you do is like throw out a Bugs Bunny rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Woo! How you doing?
Exactly that. I'm exactly that person. I am the
He and I get hooked up
Roadrunner
together.
in Wile E.
We're
Coyote.
gonna get along.
Normally, I don't get on the panels too often. Neither does Demon. When we're doing that stuff, we just stay in the comments and mess with people most of the time.
To be
So-
fair, I don't have the followers to get up on panels, so
Well, we'll fix that.
Yeah.
One way or the other, we'll get that fixed. But
I've been reading some very interesting books. You want to close this out? We've been at it an hour.
well, I did want to mention one thing. If you go to the USS Russell Camp broadcast page, we do have a storefront, which we set up so that anybody that has a chapter or any fan group and you want to make
Jackets, t-shirts.
t-shirts with your logos on them, we actually found a quality local vendor that has connections throughout the U.S. and some parts of the world that you can that we know it's quality work because, well, we've got stuff that's 3 years old and still works
Looks new.
from them. So check it out. We're advertising not necessarily for us. It's more to give a quality vendor that we know to other people. And basically, other than setup costs, it's basically a flat rate of the different stuff. So if you're looking for shirts or jackets for your clubs, check them out. Jorge is, did say that name right? Jorge and his group do some amazing stuff. As a matter of fact, the patches that he made in vinyl are currently all over the world right now.
The Starfleet patch.
So I just wanted to mention that we do have that storefront and we set it up specifically so that chapters have an easy way to make gear that you don't have to go, am I going to get a quality product or am I going to get a cheap product that costs me a lot? So we have tested it and actually put that time out. So if you go to our broadcast page, you can get the link from that. And like I said,
I have been asked where I got the free bleach hat with that beautiful Crisping logo on it, and I'm like, well, the hat is 3
Florida
years old.
Sun?
And,
yeah, both of our black hats have turned like sweat stain looking. So, and the logo itself looks brand new. So, like I said, we've got a couple of vendors. Stacy's Printing locally. If you need any printing in Florida, she's the person to go to, and she does a lot of our stuff. Like we wanted to give the article I wrote about Syfy Bartow to the runners. She actually printed the newsletter out so that we can give it to them in a professional bound setup, spiral bound setup. So we gave that to them at Prehistoric Con. So like I said, I want to support our local vendors around here. There's a book vendor that I believe I got the link on our site too.
yes,
It's from Orlando, and they do some of the old mystery books in black page with white lettering. So it's a cool little collector's item too. So these are all things that if you look on our page, we've got local vendors that we've talked to that we're trying to highlight and bring more local versus corporate connections. So as always, we will be doing this on the 1st and the 3rd Friday of the month.
And
When
the
we-
second we'll do Klingon.
So the 2nd we'll do the Klingon. Okay. I just need to know when.
We got Fridays.
So until next time, problem is I can't see that. Okay, brand. Until next time, live long and prosper and treat everybody with respect.
Good luck.
Blah.
Don't tell me how to live.